section 2 is where these pieces that we've done so far with permutations and combinations start to come together, and that's with probability. So first of all, a lot of you guys probably already know what probability is, but here's our definition. Probability is the chance of an event occurring. And we find the probability by taking the number of ways the event can happen, or the event can succeed, over the total number of possibilities, the total number of outcomes. So if we were talking about flipping a heads on a coin, there's only one way that that event can succeed is if we get heads. And there's two outcomes because we could have heads or tails. So the probability of flipping heads is 1/2. Another vocab word that goes along with probability is called sample space. And that is a list of possible outcomes. So for example, if we were flipping a coin, the sample space would look like this. H and T for heads and tails. And the sample space, we always use these curly brackets on the sides. All right, so that being said, let's go with example 1 here. And we are finding probability. So we'll start off pretty basic here. In example 1, I guess part 1, example 1, part A, we want to find the probability of rolling a 4 on a die. We find the probability by figuring out how many ways that event can succeed. In this case, if we want to roll a 4, our success is rolling a 4 over the total number of outcomes. Well, if we're rolling a die, there are 6 possibilities. It can either be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. 6 possible outcomes on the bottom. And again, there's only one way that we can get a 4. So 1/6 would be our probability of rolling a 4 on the die. If we complicate this a little bit, let's find the probability of rolling a sum of 5 on 2 dice. Let's rewrite this. Okay. And this is definitely more complicated because we have more ways that this event can succeed, and we have more possible outcomes that we have to figure out. So first of all, when we roll 1 die, there are 6 possibilities. And when we roll a second die, there are 6 possibilities. So 6 times 6 gives us 36 possibilities, 36 total possible outcomes, and that's the denominator for our probability. The number of ways our event can succeed. Well, let's think about how can we roll a sum of a 5? We can roll a sum of a 5 if we have a 1 and a 4, or if we have a 2 and a 3. But we could also have a 3 and a 2, and a 4 and a 1. There are 4 total ways we could get that sum of 5. And that is our numerator, because there's 4 possible ways we can roll a 5 as a sum. So 4 over 36, simplify that fraction. Your probability of rolling a sum of 5 on 2 dice is 1/9.